Marry me, my witches and Wiccan, and welcome to Worldwide Witchy Wiki Wednesdays. If you're new here, every Wednesdays I talk about anything that has to do with the witchery, witches, and witchcraft, which includes the paranormal, true crimes, mystery, and sometimes murder. Now, if that's for you, go ahead and click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. With that being said, let's all hop on our broomsticks and get on to the topic of this week's Wednesdays. You know what I mean. Now that we have our brooms park, let's get to the story. This is going to be a trippy part. You know King James and William Shakespeare, right? Shakespeare wrote a play for King James, because he succeeded, or he basically became king after versus Queen Elizabeth. During the play of William Shakespeare, Macbeth, you're never supposed to utter or even mention it. People named it differently. Like, you're supposed to use a nickname. So one was the Scottish play or the Scottish curse, right? And then there was more, but I'm going to name them here so you guys can read it. And you're never supposed to utter these because there's a curse behind it. If you mention any of those names, you're cursed. Let me explain. This week we're going to be talking about William Shakespeare, the poet or the writer of Romeo's Juliet, or also Macbeth, and I think Hamlet and Gauntlet, or Hamlet or something. I don't really know much about him, but I do know about Macbeth. Well, did you know that there was a curse behind the play Macbeth? William Shakespeare wrote this play for King James, who wrote the Bible. I presume he did, because I was reading about it that it said that he wrote the Bible. The reason why William Shakespeare wrote the play was because he succeeded Queen Elizabeth, which means, he became the king after that. Long story short, the play is about King James overcoming, and he's going to the three witches, the one that sees the future, past, and present from Hercules. Well, I guess William Shakespeare, when he wrote the play, those witches are like, we're going to curse your play. I know that we are not allowed to say it because there is a curse behind it. Say this name out loud, but only in the theaters. You're not supposed to. I'm not in a theater, so I'm safe to say I am okay. It was said that three witches, or the witches during that time in 1607, was cursed by witches, right? So these witches, they attended the play, and then they noticed that their incantations was being used. I wonder how Shakespeare got those incantations from. Do you think he did interview with witches and they were like, oh, we do this, we do that? Because remember, back in the days, it was a whole different hype for them. So to hear like what wings of bat, they just assume it was like a real bat, but it was just it was a nickname. I don't know if you guys know this, but back in the days, they used to use nicknames for ingredients, like herbals and stuff. And the people probably was just freaking out, like, did she just say "I am Newt"? She did, girl. She said "I am Newt." Wings of bat, tongue of dog, double toilet trouble. Shoot, if I didn't know all that, I would have believed them. I would have been like, they're using real bats and stuff. Teach about because William Shakespeare stole or took the incantations from the dark black magic that they were using at the time, and those witches wasn't having it, so they cursed the play. Now, it was said that the incantation that was used in the play was real authentic black incantation, like magic. And those witches were like, you're exposing our craft, so we're going to curse this play to never have success, Which it really did. I mean, the story goes that there was curses behind it that murdered all these. Well, there was a gentleman named John Aubrey. He claimed, because he worked with the actors at the time, claimed that a gentleman or a boy named Berridge, who was the leading role to play Lady Macbeth, he basically passed away through an illness or sickness. I don't know what kind of sickness it was. On August 7th, 1806, basically, He was playing the lead role of Lady Macbeth, and for some reason, he got sick and died. Now, you tell me if that's a curse or not. Maybe it could just be a coincidence that he got sick. But there's more. Hold on. Hold on. Listen, witches. I hope you have your broom parked because after how Berridge passed away, William Shakespeare had to step in and play the role himself. Did he get paid? Even though he wrote the play? Is that like a time and a half? Oh. Following after that, there was another incident in Amsterdam in 1672 that an actor used a real dagger and he killed Duncan was one of the actors, and it's like holy smokes. There's a lot of lists. I'm just gonna choose certain ones that sounds more to be told instead of just going through all the lists. No, I'm doing on that. That's it looks like there's gonna be a lot to talk about, and this I don't have that much memory for that. In 1721, a nobleman was watching the play of Macbeth and he got up, got on stage, and started walking to go talk to his friend. The actors were like, "We're performing. Hello." I guess they got upset about it and they called him out and he didn't like that. So the nobleman took off, came back with a whole bunch of people and they started, fighting whatever. Well, guess what? They burnt the place down. Another curse happened. That's crazy because I would have been like, you ain't burning this place down. These people, no matter what year or date or time, there's always going to be drama, huh? But to burn a place down, a theater at that, or theater, how do you guys say it? Theater or theater? Because I always say theater. I know that theater is like the movie where you go watch, you sit down and watch on the big TV, right? So is a theater like an opera stage? Let me know, because to even mention the name causes a curse, right? Well, there is a remedy. Not a remedy. A curse lifter, or to uncurse, right? There's four main ways you can do this. Ronald Howard, the play, which is called the dresser or dresser, you're supposed to, for the person that said the name Macbeth, leave the room, right? And then you're supposed to go outside of the room, spin around 3 times towards the right, and then spit on the ground on your left shoulder or both. And then you're not going to do it and wait for them to open the door for you. Basically asking permission or someone to open it for them to come in. Well, what if nobody wants to open it for them? Because they feel like it's a curse, like, oh, don't let him in. He said Macbeth. It's a curse. Keep him out there. Some people are shaded like that because knowing them back in the days, they don't care. And then number two, you're supposed to leave the building and do the same thing, or you can just like start cursing, like cussing it out, and then you knock on the door and they let you in again or ask for permission. Number three, there's a spell or an anti banishing where you say the phrase thrice round the circle bound. Evil sink into the ground. That should stop the curse from like getting you. Number four, you can also ask William Shakespeare himself, or this is the part that's funny to me. You can also ask William Shakespeare, even though he passed away. You basically, it's like a prayer to him, and he will come uplift the curse for you, and it goes like this. By the way, it's a quote from Hamlet. So, angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned, being with thee, heirs from heaven or blast from hell. Be thy wicked or charitable, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. Tongue twister with that one, huh? Yeah, that was a tongue twister for me. I couldn't do it. I had to literally write it down and read it. I was trying to like make a notice that I wasn't reading it, but I'm pretty sure you guys noticed I wrote it right here. Like, I'm so sorry. It was just too much for me. I couldn't. As any performance, I have to end this video on a good note. So, Marshall Marseca, who was a fantasy author, right? Like a book writer, and Mick Darcy, who was a coach of a women's soccer team in 1998 with the production of Julius Caesar at the Vortex. They taunted the cast members or the production area in 1998. They were shaking hands with the cast members, and as they were done, they were like, "Oh, good show, good show." And then one of them said, "Break a leg." And then they looked at each other, Marshall and Mick, and they said, "Macbeth." Oh, you guys, good job, good job. Break a leg, be careful, be careful. Macbeth. I can hear the like the stunned in people's voices. Just shock. And that, my witches, is the story of Shakespeare's Macbeth curse. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe in curses? I do. Coming from me, I'm pretty sure like I've been cursed my whole life, just still trying to get my life together. So I had to, try to uncurse it. And there are people out there who give you the oh. But yeah. So obviously with the curses and superstition, there was more tragic endings and murders and cases, but I'm not able to talk about it at the moment because I don't have enough memory on my camera. I apologize upper hand because I have so much videos in here that I don't have a storage pad to put that in. Whether you believe in curses or not and you want to find out for yourself, true or not, I will leave everything in the description box below of the next Macbeth airing, which is going to be in London. Go ahead and check that out. Let me know what you want me to talk about next week. With that being said, blessed be my witches and weekend. Be careful out there. Have a good night. Bye. Get on your broomstick and go home. I'll see you next week.